It is March 8th, 2023. Let's go through the legal nonsense. I am a psychic, clairvoyant, clairaudient. So everything that I say is for entertainment purposes only. Please check the disclaimer box and the thing so for all the legalities and all that nonsense. If you would like a private reading, please email me. I get back to everyone within about 24 hours. I do have the Venmo link, so if you want to contribute to my tip jar / yarn fund, that would be appreciated. Currently, I am about 25% up there with the number of hours of video viewed. I'm at 1,000 mark. I need 4,000 hours of watched video to become monetized. Just over 300 subscribers, and I need 1,000. So please share, let your friends know. Make sure to hit the subscribe button. You see the little red boots in the lower right-hand corner of your screen. So click the red boots to subscribe. And thank you for tuning in today. I put the trailer up for what will be going up on Friday. And I've gone through my notes and my comment sections on everything. The last time I went through all the questions, it was on January 21st. So I've gone through my current list of questions in the comments. I'm going to go through and answer those. Excuse my notes, but hey, paper rustling, notes happen, and here we go. Someone, and I'm not saying names because I respect everybody's privacy and don't want people jumping down each other's throats. A question came up was, have I noticed any difference between people who have had the liquid injected into them and people who have not had that? Well, people who have had the liquid put into their body, some of them I do get a super creepy, nasty feeling about. But so I realize that no matter what I say to these people, they're going to follow the propaganda and they will not listen to anybody. They basically have been programmed, and how do I say it? It's kind of like they're good Hitler Youth. They're following what they've been told. So it's just that I get the sense that these people are non-receptive to any other mention, something that does not follow what they're thinking of. There have been another thing, and they've been people have been asking me about the things flying over North America. Let's put it this way. I would say go back, watch that movie with Matthew Broderick called War Games. And that basically explains a lot. They're just testing things out. What people want to call a UFO, or people from another, that are not from Earth, they've been around and visiting since time and memorial. I mean, those giant carvings into the earth, like down in Central America, I kind of get those as billboards to be seen from above. The Great Wall of China, that's kind of like a landing strip marker. Same with Hadrian's Wall. And places that are circular, like Stonehenge, and there's other places where you'll see boulders in a circular uh, that are built in a circle. Those are kind of like landing pads, landing strips, a runway. So it's the governments are now getting people prepped to start accepting visitors that aren't from Earth. In fact, the other day on one of these extra digital channels, I think it's called Movies TV, you want to check here in America with the antenna reception and the digital TV channels and stuff. It was over the weekend. They did an entire day of movies based on visitors that weren't from Earth, like the movie The Day the Earth Stood Still with Patricia Neal. So they're letting people know, and people have to wake up. Okay, new question about Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. We were all told that she received the liquid, and the illness, the C word, it was already, she inherited the gene that made her her body was predisposed for cancer, like her father. And it's, if she did have the jab, it probably accelerated the deterioration, but it didn't cause it. She already was predisposed. I think it was the stress of dealing with a couple of people and having to deal with the nonsense pertaining to the world situation. That's what aggravated it. So that's what I keep getting. Someone asked me, have I ever been to Arthur Findlay College in the UK? No, haven't been there. So I've been spouting things out from my clairvoyant gifts since I was a child, and I've learned how to kind of turn it off, or just like kind of know how to protect myself when I'm in environments. So when I get around people who are trying to turn themselves into a gifted person, it just drives me bats, because either you're born with it or you're not. I mean, people can learn how to read tarot cards, but a truly gifted person who is inherited it through generations, we don't need to go through all the falderall. So, and people go, oh, I follow this tradition or that tradition. And I'm like, do your homework on people like who claim to be Alexandrian or Gardnerian, or I follow Aleister Crowley. I'm like, look at these guys and what they propose and expect people to do is a lot of self-harm, a lot of drunken debauchery, and physical misconduct, conduct with other people. I'm like, no, it's people go that way in order to have physical pleasure, that because that's the only way they're going to get it, is doing these stupid things. And people realize the code is do what you will, but bring no harm. And that means harm to yourself, and overindulgence in certain things, you are bringing harm to your own body. Rachel and the older guy, the older philanthropist. I've already gone through that. The family knows, spotted her a mile off, and it's nowhere fast. Okay, the train issue. Remember, for the past couple of years, we've been in a world lockdown, which means our infrastructure basically was allowed to deteriorate. Needed regularly scheduled maintenance was not allowed to happen. So, of course, now that things are going back to as close to possible as what they were back in 2019, things that haven't been used and maintained for the past couple of years are malfunctioning. So it was a plan to basically to shut everybody down, keep everybody at home, and allow things to fall apart. And now we're suffering the repercussions of it because people followed the dictates of people who were not looking in our best interest. I haven't done any digging on it, but yes, we know that the guy who lives at 1600 or pretends to live at 1600 Pennsylvania in Washington, D.C. Yeah, there's a piece of paper that states that that person wants to turn over our sovereignty to an organization, 3-lettered organization. And the leader of the organization is now a guy who was put into place by the CCP, by Communist China. So we've got a communist dude who can say, oh my gosh, there's something going to go around that people are going to catch and get sick from. So we have to, this is what everybody has to do. And if you don't follow my rules, you're in trouble. I live in the United States. This is supposed to be a free democratic country. I'm not going to let some dude out of a communist country tell me what I can and cannot do. As far as I know, I'm not carrying around a little red book with Mao's teaching in it. So stuff it, use that little red book as potty paper. People have to wake up. And hopefully come 2024, they don't vote blue no matter who, because they're the ones that are that are keeping us in this mess, because they're not the Democratic Party of the 1960s with John F. Kennedy. They've turned into a horrible, horrible organization. Questioned about my trailer. Yeah, I've walked around a certain university campus quite a bit. And because I have been using my clairvoyant gift for so many years, I was taught how to kind of turn it down, how to protect myself. So, yeah, when I was walking around the campus and everything, I just kind of like flip the off switch. So I wasn't picking up anything really around it or with the students. It was just like, if I do, I would have exhausted myself and probably collapsed and have been in like the local hospital in Evanston just from exhaustion. So when I go into large populated environments, I turn it off. So no, I wasn't picking up anything. But yeah, when I was up there, I was lucky enough to run into one of the professors who's been on staff for decades. Yes, I have the windows open, so of course the breeze comes in and I get stuffy nose. No, I'm not using any kind of white powdered candy. No, windows open, fresh air. So if you're outside, everybody gets a drippy nose. When I was on campus, I had the opportunity to speak to a couple professors. Their comments are, yeah, the fact that she attended that university, it did bring a lot of interest. One person said that she was not the best student and she wasn't the greatest person to be around because professors do write opinions of students to go in their school file. And they all knew that she was a self-paced student, pertaining that she was not dependent on any kind of financial aid provided by the university. So the students who have their own financial resources, the school kind of turns a blind eye to, because that's money coming into the school. The ones who are on financial aid and scholarships, if they don't cut the mustard, then the school shuts off their money and they have to go bye-bye. But if it's a student who's able to pay their own tuition without help, basically they're going to let them get away with murder because that's money coming into the school. So that's what I heard from a couple of the professors that I spoke to. Now, the other day I did get I was watching somebody else and I heard Wallace and Edward, or he likes to be called David. They came in and popped in and said, for crying out loud, they still haven't learned a gosh darn thing. And Henry and Rachel really need to go and see what was written about and read the letters that came from their Uncle David back to England, because Charles actually knew his uncle. He saw and heard things firsthand from his grandmother, his mother, and the courtiers that were around the palace during the 1930s. Remember, Charles was born in 1947. So these people were up there in age, but they were around to give Charles the information of what happened and knows how to deal with people like Henry and Rachel that are emulating the behavior of his Uncle David. Wallace kind of cringes because she goes, I'm sorry, I was just stuck for the ride. I got caught in a trap, so I had to follow along. If she had her thing, she would have been just the mistress. But the courtiers knew that David had more leanings to the wrong side of the tracks. So they had to really get him bumped out and help him. So, yeah, that's why one of the reasons why the abdication happened. But Wallace and David keep saying that Henry needs to look back. He needs to read the documents. He's doing the same gosh darn thing. His behavior is putting him in the same situation as his Uncle David. And those two just don't get it. You walked away. Now make your bed and lay in it. You can't have everything. You had the opportunity to live the life of a royal, and you threw it away. So, do your homework and behave yourselves. They're just not listening. So, I hear them saying they've got to read the family history. Someone has to send them the documents, because both of them, they're saying that Rachel is the narcissist. Well, I think it's both of them are the situation, or that's what they're telling me. Wallace and Edward, they're both narcissists, and they feed off each other. And that's why they are the way they are. So they feed off each other, and what one doesn't do, the other one does. So we just need to, they need to learn some family history. And for someone who claims to be so well educated, she sure as heck doesn't have any common sense. I think she went through school learning the answers to the tests, and that's it. She didn't learn anything else than how to answer the right questions. And I even laugh now because I run into teenagers and they're bragging, oh, I've got a 4.0 GPA. And tell them that, okay, fine. Point out north, south, east, and west. And they're like, what? And even on the buses, I use public transportation. These kids with their backpacks, oh, is this bus going in this direction or that direction? And I'm like, crying out loud, on the front of the bus above the windshield is a sign saying what destination the bus is going to. These kids don't even know basic geography of the area that they live in. They have to ask the bus driver if they're going to the direction that they need to go, when they could read up on top what the direction the bus is going. So it's, hey, I've been on long enough. This is going to take forever to download and upload. So thank you for everyone for tuning in. I hope everyone has a great day. I'm going to go back to editing my other thing for you. So thank you. Hit the thumbs up. Please subscribe. Click the red boots. Comment. It really helps with the analytics. And let's keep going to see, hey, maybe by the end of the year, I'll be able to be monetized. And yes, I do have the tip jar, and I use Venmo. So hope you will tune in on Friday for the video, and I'm going to be looking forward to talking to everybody on Saturday. Thanks. Bye-bye.